Hello, this video is about birth and the multitude of changes that happen around us when there is a new baby. Usually, when we talk about birth, it's all about the focus is fully on the baby and next is on the mother. Now, this is about the men, the ones who become fathers, and the caregiving role, and what can you do, and how can we navigate this biggest transition that happens in most of our lives. So let's go through the acronym birth, body image changes and understanding how to cope with that. I is identity changes and how to cope with that, understanding them. R is relationship dynamics changes and how to cope with that. T is time. It looks like we have all the time in the world and also no time at all. How do you cope with that? And then H is about hormonal changes. So this video is about postpartum, birth, and whose all life changes and how do we navigate that. If we go for the B, body image changes. Now, whose body changes most? Of course, the baby. The baby was in a very nice, comfortable, safe womb, and suddenly they are out. Absolutely no idea what is happening, not even their choice. So completely 100% dependent on the others around us. So of course that is a given. The next, whose body is changing next? The mother. Because the mother, the woman who has born the child, of course entire through pregnancy the body has been going through changes. Now with delivery, again tons of changes in the body with feeding. Every body part is now having a different use, and we have not explored all this. And even if it is your second child or third, it is again your body is changing, right? So if you look at an order, if you look at the men, your bodies are not necessarily changing, or if there is a sibling, or if you look at the next layers, the body per se is not changing for anybody else other than these two people. The rapid change. Okay, so who needs the most support in order? Of course, the baby and then the mother. So what can the men do? It doesn't mean that, okay, because my body is not changing, it really doesn't matter. So first is being aware that if you look at B and body image and whose is changing the most. Now baby, though, of course, we are all there and supporting. Now who is supporting the woman over here? What is she going through? The first, dear women, we need to be aware of what is our relationship with our body. Sometimes we can feel that is this just a machine which is pumping milk and taking care of somebody, and we just exist to take care of another little being. Of course, there is so much love, but it can feel like, is this just one? Are we just existing? Is our body just to take care of this? And these confusions can happen. Our bodies can look different, can feel different, can feel heavy. We would have put on weight. We might be in a hurry to reduce the weight. People will be asking, oh my God, you put on so much weight. Or people might say, oh, you reduce weight so fast. That's not very healthy. So tons of free, unsolicited comments can come over a woman's body, and this will certainly affect. However much we might say that these words do not affect us, it will affect us. So, what can the men do to support this, and what can the people around the woman do to support this? Is ask her how she can be supported. Find out what does she feel about her body now. Is it aching anywhere? Is it her legs hurting? Is it her chest hurting? Is it her body or back? What is happening? So the first is for the men to ask, and if you're feeling okay. But it is also important for the woman to then voice it as well, and not believe that, okay, this is all the work that I have to do, my body, and I have to take care of it. It's not necessary. So the women can also ask and say that this is the help I need. So maybe you need a head massage, maybe you need a feet massage, maybe you need a shoulder massage. And if we are asking specifically for what does our body need, do we feel good in our body, or do we want to follow a particular diet, do we feel like eating this, ask and also voice what is not helpful. If you are not able to voice it to everybody, at least voice it to your partner. So that is where the role of men comes, where listen to her before you jump into advice and decide what is best for your wife. Ask her what does she want to do with her body and where is she struggling over there. That is the first one, which is B, knowing that this body image changes is predominantly for the woman and not anybody else around her. That's the B. The next is the I of BIRTH. Now with I, identity shifting. Now here, of course, the identity, biggest identity changes. There is a little baby who didn't even have an identity. Now there is a new person over there. Of course, the biggest change is there. The rest of the identities, yes, it is kind of a huge shift for everybody else in the family. So there is a woman who is now a mother, there is the man who is now the father. If there is a sibling, they are becoming a brother or a sister. So there are these identity shifts are huge for everybody, not comparing with the body image, but identity per se, yes, huge. Even if it's a first child or second child, identities are changing, relationship dynamics are changing. So suddenly, if there is a sibling, either the older child is now becoming the older child and the older sibling suddenly, regardless of whether they were 2-year old or 3-year old, they are suddenly, the identity is becoming, okay, the big brother or the big sister. For the mother, it's like, oh, now I have 2 children, so you know already. So it can be like, a lot of confusion can happen around this. If it's your first child, of course, the father also, not like anybody comes with any training on what to do with, what does it mean suddenly to one day abruptly to become the mother, or next day I'm a father, and then what does that mean to us? Now, these are important conversations that you can have. So the idea of going through this acronym birth and understanding how it could lead to postpartum, which is postpartum is what happens soon after the birth. So we've usually heard about the word postpartum depression. Now, depression, to me, if you look at the word depression in a very simple manner, it is depress or downward press of what are we thinking, what are we feeling, what is our body sensing. And if we are not acknowledging it and expressing it to somebody or releasing it outside our body and talking about it, we are depressing. And over a period of time, yes, it can cause long lasting changes, and we do not want to get there. So these identity shifts also needs to be discussed. What does it feel to be a father? What does it feel to be a mother? Talk to each other. The marriage is changing. So suddenly, if you have been sleeping just the two of you in the bedroom, suddenly there is a baby over there. This is the time when some of the narratives that I have heard from the men is that suddenly she doesn't want me, all the focus is on the baby. So even if I do something, it is always criticizing, don't do it that way, don't do it this way. So then I decided, okay, let me not do anything, let her do it her way. And then I've heard narratives from the women saying, okay, he just doesn't do anything, he doesn't listen to me, he's very clumsy. Now here, both of you need to realize that the identity has shifted for everybody. If there is a sibling, the sibling is also very curious about this little new baby there. So not that everybody knows exactly how to handle this new redefined roles that you're playing. So let us be patient with each other. And dear women, just like for you, it's a new identity, it is the same for the men too. So let us not suddenly expect perfection from ourselves or the other, or our partners, or our children if we have other children, or even if we don't. So let us be gentle with ourselves. It's not like we know exactly how to change diaper. We didn't have the training. And also let us not believe that, oh, just because they are men, they will not know how to do it. No, even you didn't know. It's not like we attended a course in diaper changing, or we attended a course in how to feed or how to carry. No, we figure it out. We are trying to figure it out. It's an unpredictability or unknown area, and each baby is different. So just as you are figuring it out, allow your husbands also to figure it out. Allow them the same grace that you give yourself to learn together. Let the marriage not gently slip, and let us not be like, okay, this is motherhood, and bring the fatherhood alongside in the first few days itself. It's okay. It's only the feeding part which your partner cannot do, right? Everything else you can do. So make sure that you ask for help and not push them away just because they're not doing things exactly the way you want. Include the sibling also. Instead of saying don't do that, don't do, shift on. So how can they support? So for that, the women will have to clearly voice what support do they need and how. And if things don't go exactly that way, it's really okay. Give them the grace. That is because you need to respect that identity shifting for everybody, not just the woman. The next one, so that is the B, the I, and the R would be relationship dynamics. Same thing, you're becoming a mother, the man is becoming a father, the one is becoming an older brother or a sister. So everything is changing, and watch out if doesn't mean that what existed before has to suddenly stop existing. So whatever you were doing with your older child previously, which parts have you cut down? Are you having conversations around that with your older sibling? Say, for example, if you were used to going out for a walk in the park or play with them and suddenly you are not able to, are you having conversations with your older child or with your partner? Maybe you were having coffee together in the morning, but now maybe you're feeling sleepy and you want to sleep. So then what is happening to the relationship of marriage? Are you really keeping some time separately for that, or do you feel that the only relationship that matters is between you and the baby? Then everything else can begin to slip, and that is when a lot of changes in the marriage also, and with the older child also. Soon after, there is a new baby. So true, agreed that this new child is the most dependent one, agreed, but that doesn't mean the others become any less important. And it also doesn't mean that as women we have to hold it all together. All we need to know is ask for help, figure out what you need from your husband, what you need from your older children, and if you have other support systems, ask how they can support you in such a manner that all your energies is not just to this one relationship of you being a mother to a newborn, but also you being a mother to another child or children, and you being a wife to your partner, and you having friends, you having, if you were working outside, or everything matters. So how can your support system help you keep that balance in relationship with other people also, and not just this one engulf your entire life? For that, we all need to open these conversations and talk about this. Ask to your partners and open up this conversation will be most important. And so that's B, IRT, time. We can feel that, okay, now I have left my job or I have taken the leave and I have all the time in the world. What is this? This is one newborn baby. They will just lie down in the bed. They can't even walk. So it must be pretty much easy. But then you can also feel that, oh my God, where is my time going? It's like suddenly it's morning and then it's night and I'm just lying down doing nothing but feeding, 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 sleeping. So this can feel like I don't have time at all, because if your baby's routine is very unpredictable, you don't know when they're going to cry, when they're going to sleep, and you're kind of figuring out that routine. It can feel like time is completely not in your control. And again, what do you want to do? Where your body will need sleep, your body will need rest, your body will need food, your body will also not want to be with the baby for some time. So watch out what is happening, what at your thinking level, what is happening at your feeling level. And if you are not talking about where would you like little more time for, is it to rest, is it to maybe just go out with your husband alone, leaving both your children or maybe the newborn baby just outside somewhere? Is that the support you need, or do you just want to be alone and nobody else, or maybe just go to the restroom or have a bath in peace? So where is it that you're feeling time is totally not in your hands, and what do you need that time for? Maybe you wanted to watch a movie, or maybe you wanted to just have coffee in peace. So can somebody else pitch in while you have that time for what you want to do? But for that, with dear women, we need to start voicing it and say. But if we believe that no, now I have given birth to baby, my full 100% is only on this, then that can be problematic. You have support system, but you will need to ask. So that is about the time, and what time do you need? Is it for sleep? That you get to decide and you get to ask as well. And if the others are demanding the time, for example, your husband is saying, oh, you don't spend time with me, or your older child is saying, mama, you're not spending time with me, that is valuable too. You will need to figure out, okay, this I can do. So then the husband takes the little one, you spend time with the older one, or you say, now you be with the baby, I'll spend some time with my husband. So this is something which you as a family will need to figure out where can these time be divided based on your context. Now each family is different, so but it is important to think about where are you feeling that you don't have the time, and let it not be depressed and just held back thinking, okay, this is all is possible, I don't have a choice. We can keep that conversation going. So that is B, body image. I, identity shifts. R, relationship changes. T is time. And the last one is hormonal changes. Hormonal changes, again, the biggest will be happening. The big change, of course, is going on with the newborn child, baby's rapid growth. But similarly, your body with your feeding, your periods getting regular, all that are huge changes happening to your body. So it is true that you can have mood swings, and let both of you and your partner read about it, discuss about it, discuss that with your older children if you have them, depending on their age. Talk about these. So this is true and this is real. So let's not dismiss all of these huge changes that is happening in all your life, and knowing that the support, there are different degrees of support that each person needs, starting with the little newborn child and the mother with the body and hormonal changes, which is just for her and not for the others. But identity shifts and relationship changes is for everybody. So the woman also needs to know that all of these are important, but all of this need not be handled all at once. It can be handled like today, you have 100% energy and time for today, which needs to get divided appropriately and accordingly and adequately with each person depending on what their need is. And if you see, true, it can mostly shift to the baby, but then make sure that your time is allotted equally everywhere, maybe when the baby sleeps, or that's something your context will tell you on how to figure that out. So if you're going to take on everything on your own, thinking that this is it, this is the only option, that can be tough. Now the bonus is when you have other support systems, like you have a helper, you have grandparents, your parents staying over, or in-laws, or you have friends or neighbors. Ask how can they support people. Otherwise, if you don't tell them how to support, they will support you in the ways they think is helpful for you, and it might not be helpful for you, and you might find it irritating. Say, for example, maybe your mother-in-law says that, okay, I will do it when your husband is coming to help. Mother-in-law might say, no, I will do it, you go. Maybe that's not what you wanted. Maybe you wanted to do something together with your husband. So voice that. So if you are not voicing what is the support you need from each of these other support systems, which is grandparents, friends, neighbors, or relatives, or visitors, or whoever else, or even helper, they might not know, and they will function according to what they think is supportive for you. So whether it is you men, the older children, and you as a woman, unless you're voicing where you're feeling it difficult and where you need changes, and if these conversations are not open, is when there is a larger tendency for postpartum depression, marital issues happening soon after the baby is born. And these things can be avoided provided we have these open discussions, and having some grace and compassion for oneself and everybody around you, and knowing that we can ask for help. Thank you so much for watching, and if this has helped, like, share, and